Welcome to the Land of House YouTube channel. I'm Seth. This is the EFG lithium iron phosphate battery. It's 48 volt, 100 amp hours, which is 5,120 watt hours. This was working perfectly until I decided to try out a new inverter charge controller combo. And for some reason, no matter what the settings I put the voltage on, it tried to charge this at 62 volts. And I think it has fried the BMS, or battery maintenance system. And so EFG has graciously sent me a new BMS that I'm going to now be installing into this battery. If you need a good lithium iron phosphate battery for your solar or hydro needs, definitely check out the link below to this company. Their technical support has been awesome. So, all right, let's pull the cover off of this, take a look at the BMS, and hopefully get a replacement done. Now, I have taken a measurement across the cells, and the voltage seems to be good. So I think that the electronic side on that BMS is the problem. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this attempt at fixing a lithium iron phosphate battery. I'm in the crawl space under my house, and so space is a little bit limited. Let me go ahead and get these last two support screws off of the case. I'd already opened this, of course, and just put these screws back on here to keep this in position. Now I do need to remove the wiring here from the display. Let me tip this over. Hopefully you can see that. All right, so pull these two wires out right here. Okay, there we go. Set this lid to the side. And this is what we're working with now that the cover has been removed. The company did send two different boards. Up here is the BMS, and then down here is the board that houses all of the communications ports, the reset button, the power button, and also the cables for the display. So I'm going to be replacing both of those, and so that whole board will come out and be easier to work with, hopefully. Now they do have a paste on here that I will have to remove in order to get those cables off, but I think it's going to be reasonably easy to get to all of that. Well, I just got to looking, and I don't think I have to remove these just yet. The case itself has a bottom panel that I am unscrewing all of the supports on, and I'm thinking I can just remove this whole bottom panel and won't have to use a small tiny screwdriver or anything. Just basically pull this bottom board out of here. We'll see how it works. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery cable over here. I think is necessary. I took some pictures of this before I did any of this work, just in case I have to remember where things went back. So anyway, there's that. Let's see how much of this will come out easily. Okay, yeah, so I think that's going to be a lot easier to work with here. So now I can remove this board by just unscrewing this way instead of having to pull that whole thing out. I might still have to, but we will go ahead and see what we can get replaced here. Since the company has sent this lower board, we might as well go ahead and get it replaced while we're at it. All right, I'm just going to use my screwdriver to get these 4 screws removed here. I just got this communications board removed from the lower portion of the case. I did have to remove the power button as well. So now I think there's going to be 6 different screws to remove up here, and that should drop down the BMS. So there's one here, here, and then a couple more around here. But I'm also noticing that we need to remove this battery cable right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that should free it up there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just remove all of these. Let's see now, the battery is connected up here through the BMS, and so I do need to remove all of these as well. And they've got that putty on there, but I think it will come off pretty easy. Let's see, I probably should, let me take a picture of these two so I have them where I need them for the future here. All right, so I'm noticing there's a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Okay, so as long as we remember that 1 is over here on this side, we should be good to go. That's very convenient. I'm glad they have done that. I'm almost ready to pull this board out, but I'm noticing there is one more power cord right over here. See if I can't get that unplugged. They've put some electrical tape on it, so let me peel that back. There we go. That's easy enough to remove that. Okay, I believe it's time to get this board pulled down here. And hopefully it's a pretty easy exchange to get this swapped over. All right, let me pull this down here. Very nice. I'm glad it's coming out so easily here. Here is the new BMS. Now this side right here looks the same, but this side over here, they've got this control monitor over here, so interesting. Well, first thing I'm noticing the coin battery is not in this one, so let me find this one over here and see if I can't get this one installed. All right, got the coin battery in there. So now let's go ahead and begin putting this back up to replace the other one. So that side I think is fine. And they also sent over hopefully all the cables we would need here. So let me pull those out as well. So hopefully this is simply a matter of matching the other board and reassembling that way. So let's go ahead and turn this back to the same orientation and place it up in here, and then I'll begin putting these cables in. There may be easier ways of doing this, but considering this is my first BMS swap over, I think this is going to be the way we're going to do it. So I'm just putting the board back in the orientation the other one was in. So one thing I'm noticing is that the buttons on that display are actually getting in the way. I might try removing this display and see if that would affect anything. Okay, yes, taking that display off was important because first of all the buttons were getting in the way of mounting this, but also this right here is the cable that goes to the display on the front of the case, and so I had to take this display port off and put that one on. So very cool. All right, so now we can start putting things back together here. So let's see, the new packet has a bunch of cables in it. And so I'm just going to start replacing these in the same manner that they are on the other board. This ribbon right here is going to go down. I know it's hard for you to see any of these connections back here, but I'm just basically matching up what the previous board had and moving on. All right, I'm going to reconnect these 1 through 4 right here that were pulled off. Now the company also sent new cables for all of these. I'd have to pull off this top case and remove everything that's on the batteries, on the cells, but I'm not sure I want to do that just yet. So let's try this first and see what happens. All right, I've got the lower board here. It's going to go in this direction. And so now I just need to make all of these connections here. Very cool. Those are all back together. I'm going to get this power button back in through the case. I was just noticing how hard to follow this video has been. So this is what I did without you real quick. I reattached this negative cable to the negative terminal. I put the switch right here. It just goes from the switch here, the main power switch, and clamped it there. And then I plugged up this red power right here. And then these wires here are hanging off for the front display. Okay, I think everything is back to the way it should be, as far as I can tell. So let me put the case back on with the wires here, and we'll see if it turns on. I have not pushed the power button so that you and I can experience this at the same time. So here we go. Ha ha ha! That is nice to see right there. State of charge is at a very low state right there, so I'm going to go ahead and get some power into this battery, but I'm happy to see that working for sure. All right, let's turn that off and go ahead and charge this up. Well, I can't tell you how excited I am that this actually worked. So swapping out the battery maintenance system right here worked out just fine. I did have to remove the display that came on this right here because those buttons were getting in the way, and I had to use the wire from here to get to the display here. So the change out was actually quite easy. All you have to have is a screwdriver. So I was using this one. It's a JIS screwdriver, which is designed to go into screws, a lot of times used in Chinese or Japanese equipment. So I'll try to link this in the description down below if you want to use one of those. Like I said before, the EFG battery has performed well, except for me overcharging and frying the BMS. So stay tuned for videos in the future where I'm going to be connecting my solar and hydro back up to this battery and supplementing my house power. And do check out the links below to purchase one of these batteries if you need a lithium iron phosphate. I'm Seth Johnson with Land to House, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.